Hi there, thank you for finding the Everyman Tales. I am Everyman, and the stories you're going to find here are intended for daytime, nighttime, bedtime, road trips, downtime, uptime, and every time in between. Get ready to engage your imagination. Get ready for the Everyman Tales. The Hidden Valley is a wonderful place with rolling hills, beautiful sunrises and sunsets, animals of all kinds, and even an occasional human scattered about. Most of the animals were visible in the daytime, but today, as the sun was setting over the hill and the moon began to rise, one specific animal woke up after a long day's sleep. The moon rose over the hillside. The sun was long gone, and as the stars began to appear, Oliver opened his eyes, shook his wings, and looked out over his valley. Oliver may be the most majestic animal in the Hidden Valley, but hardly anyone ever got to see him. Oliver is a great horned owl. Sometimes called a hoot owl, he was wonderful, and he was majestic, and he was very wise. This evening, as he woke up, he shook his wings and turned his head to the left, and then further left, and then further left, and then back around to the right until he could see all around him in the dark what was happening. Most of the animals in the Hidden Valley were active in the daytime, but there was a whole different group that's active at night. Oliver could see the pack of coyotes way down the field. They were of no threat to him, of course, but he was aware of their presence. And having just woken up from his long day's nap, he decided he was hungry. He needed to find a mouse, and he knew exactly where to go to find it. Oliver kept his eyes open and then decided to do a ground flight. His owl's wings are almost totally silent as he swooped down right above the ground and began his search. He flew through the fields, over the grass, between the fences, along the creek bed, and over the waterfall before he finally saw his prey. He caught and then enjoyed his meal of a field mouse and then sat on a tree limb, watching to see what animal would come out next. Several of the deer had come through the creek bed and were working their way down towards the field. Oliver was very aware that the deer are mostly active at night, although they are active in the daytime as well. He heard the bark of one of the dogs up the valley and wondered what he was chasing now. Oliver decided to fly, and he was not flying next to the ground. He wanted to go high and get a literal bird's eye view of the Hidden Valley. A few flaps of his wings and he was above the treetops. A few flaps more and he was quite a ways above the trees, above the Hidden Valley. He turned, flew back over the waterfall, up the creek bed, up through the valley, beyond where even the humans lived, and lighted himself on a tree limb close to the top of the tree that he rested on. If someone were able to see Oliver on the tree limb, silhouetted by the moonlight, it would make them catch their breath. But not only could most animals not see Oliver, most humans could not see him. Almost none of them could hear him because his flight was so silent. His wings so imperceptibly maneuvering the air to keep him afloat through the sky. Oliver is an amazing animal, but he did not let the wonder of his creation go to his head. He was also humble, and that led to his wisdom. Oliver watched the pack of coyotes as they went back into the woods. He saw a family of skunks with the white stripes shining in the moonlight scurry through the Hidden Valley from one garbage can to the next, through the creek bed looking for snacks, and then back into the grove of trees that they came from. He lifted his wings and glided back down the valley, picking up speed as he went, but not making a single sound. In the future, it would be this silent flight that would save Oliver's life, but he did not know that at the time. All he knew was that, like most nights here in the Hidden Valley, he had awoken, watched the moon rise, observe animals, and now he was getting ready to snuggle on the side of the tree and watch what would happen next. As he came to rest on the tree trunk where his home was, he began to hear something far off in the distance. It sounded like wind or a storm was brewing. Oliver wondered if the Hidden Valley was going to be hit with one of its famous rainstorms, or perhaps even a lightning storm. Oliver had experienced many of these in his years, but he had never experienced anything like what was about to happen to the Hidden Valley. You've been listening to the Everyman Tales. I'm glad you've tuned in. I'm Everyman, and who knows what's going to happen next in the Hidden Valley. All we know for sure is that an adventure is on the horizon. Stay tuned to the Everyman Tales so you can find out what happens next in the Hidden Valley, and follow me on Facebook at the Everyman Tales Podcast. You can also find me on Google Podcasts, of course, Podbean, iTunes Radio, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, a wide variety of places, Boomplay, and wherever you listen, please don't forget to like and follow the Everyman Tales. Thank you for tuning in, and until next time, don't forget to engage your imagination. You've been listening to the Everyman Tales.